Because he was like,
Talking to your mic, please.
talking to your mic, please.
All right, you're good.
Do I need to have it closer?
All right. Sound, sight. Look at that. Did you see that it was 12:45 when I got...
Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah.
That's why, I watched
What did I
time.
say?
That's
That
why I
I'd
was
be
on.
done
That's
setting
why
up
I
at
was
12:45.
early. I went left instead of right on the escalator, though. I played myself.
That was your first.
Well, yeah, I would have been way earlier if that wasn't the case.
All right, Anthony. We're going to take a second here. We look good. The spacing is good.
Okay, hopefully.
Just to get into this moment here, if you want to take off your shoesies, you can take off your shoesies.
I mean, you saw everything soggy on my feet.
Yeah, you don't want to put them back on.
No, because
when they're wet, because then it'll be more painful.
Just let my toes prune.
Let it moisten. Just let it stay.
Right, air out.
All right. Let's take a second here. Just take a couple nice deep breaths. Long exhale. Just to get here, leave all your outside concerns outside this door for the next hour. Nothing besides this podcast matters for the next hour. We can just be present here with each other. Enjoy each other's company. When you allow your exhale to be longer than your inhale, it activates the part of your nervous system that tells you that it's okay to be present in this moment.
Okay, because I didn't know that.
That you're safe.
Your breathing techniques are awesome.
Yeah.
You need to take some cues
Take a
from
fucking
you.
yoga class with me. Let me put some Reiki on you.
I don't even know what that is.
We'll
Am I too
talk.
old for all this? That's like an ancient thing, though, right? It sounds it.
Am I too old? Just fucking
I
breathe
know what
with
yoga
me for a
is.
second. Take 3 nice deep breaths. For Christ's sake, almighty. Everything outside this door is going to be smiling, waiting for you. Ha 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 ha. When you leave, you're safe to be present here in this moment. You're going to talk about yourself. It's going to be great. It's motherfucking Bowl and Breffix, baby. It's motherfucking Bowl and Breffix. The podcast. Anthony Enochs.
Jordyn.
Ever's dad.
Ever's dad.
So, thank you so much for being here with me today.
You're welcome.
Talking with
Thanks
me a
for
little
having
bit.
me.
I'm blessed to have you here. So tell everyone where they can find you on the internet. And what do you do?
Ever's dad on Instagram. Or Philly Custom Rugs on Instagram. That's it. I'm into the free promotion.
Tell me about the rugs.
So the rugs, I make hand-tufted, hand-sculpted rugs. All done by me because I'm very stubborn. And I know people don't want to deal with my, I guess you could say, attention to detail or like OCD. Whatever. I like that I don't have anyone to answer to.
Well, it serves you well.
Yeah, I like...
you work for yourself. You're your own boss.
It happened because I'm a barber by trade, and COVID took that away, which was like very unexpected. I was like, I can cut hair anywhere, anytime, whatever, blah, blah. Then that happens. And I see, just like, because everyone's home, I see a bunch of people doing the rug thing, but like very, like, elementary, I guess you could say.
Not up to your level.
No, like, it was still cool.
Yeah.
And like everything that I started out doing was very elementary until I like started doing it and being hands-on with it and like figuring stuff out on my own that I guess translated from the barbering aspect. It's just the rug's hair, it doesn't grow. I was like, I like cutting something and spending all that time on it that'll last forever.
Yeah,
Not
so
that I
that
don't.
translated really well.
Yeah.
Your skills with
And I noticed a lot of people.
hair, like
Yeah, but I was also
material.
using the like a good pair of clippers that I use for cutting hair on the rugs.
yeah,
And like certain aspects, I still use that clipper because it works really well. And it's just crazy how like, oh, I'm cutting. It's like I'm cutting hair still. I'm sculpting rugs.
yeah. You're
Like they're like
cutting
very like deep
a kind of
crevices
hair.
and, yeah, it's wool.
Translates very well
Yeah.
from your previous set of skills,
Yeah,
and
and
you've
the
been
rugs-
crushing it. You were on the news.
Yeah.
How did you get on the
That
news?
happened because I got asked to do it's like a month long like arts festival, but like there's music involved and like other like street art kind of things for the most part.
Elephant.
Yeah, the tiny room for elephants.
Yeah, tell us about that.
That caught me off guard because it was still very early on in me doing the rug thing.
Yeah.
I kind of like what got me real busy with the rugs. I did an art show at the skate shop Nocturnal. They were having a lot of I guess it's similar to like First Friday. I forget what they were calling it. I think they were just calling it like Nocturnal Presents, and they would have a bunch of local artists
Yeah.
have their like show their work. And it was cool because they had the upstairs of the skate shop that was just empty. So it was like a really cool space for having those events. Doesn't happen as much now because the spaces up above the skate shop have been renovated to like apartments, rightfully so.
Nocturnal's been kind of like a
Yeah,
home base for you.
20 some years it's been around, and I've been at least frequenting it as like a customer for that long.
Where's it at? Where can people find it? It's on South and...
So it's on, I want to say, it's on South 5th Street. It's at the old Ernesto's Tailors. It's like catty corner from Gus. If anyone from Philly knows Philly, they know where the Gus hot dog cart is.
God damn.
And,
he's still holding it down.
Yeah. And
Shout
I guess,
out to Gus.
Yeah, Gus
Philly
is dope.
legend.
And it's right next to Golden Triangle. I feel like anyone that has any kind of sense for that kind of cuisine, they know where that is as well. They do like Malaysian, Thai, and Burmese food.
You're from South Philly, right?
No. I was born in the Northeast.
Word.
I was born at Frankfurt Hospital.
Wow. So you're a boy of my area.
Yeah,
I'm from Fishtown.
So like I moved in first grade to Jersey because I had learning disabilities.
That's right.
And the public schools over there are really good.
Yeah,
And
schools in Jersey are fabulous.
Luckily, my parents, they're dope. Like, they're the best parents you could ask for. Made those, like, sacrifices for me to have the extra help in school without having to pay an arm and a leg for, like, public schools or something like that. Not that I would ever wanted to do that. I didn't hate it. I just disliked that they moved us out of the city. As I got older and realized, like, oh, city life's more for me. Always caught myself just leaving school and going right on the Paco to get in the Philly to skate.
Yeah. Would you go to like Love Park and FDR and stuff?
Love Park most of the time. FDR came a little later. FDR's pretty gnarly.
How so?
As far as like the as far as the terrain. More of like a street skater when I was younger.
Yeah.
Because we didn't even have skate parks in Jersey. So a ramp to me, first time I like skated up a ramp, I ate shit. And like was done for the day. I didn't understand how it worked. Just coming from skating out front of my house, or like just jumping down the stairs at the.
Because FDR is just like molded concrete.
Yeah,
right?
It's built by skaters.
It's just like
and the skaters
unforgiving.
That built it, like now they are way more on point with what they're doing as far as like the math, I guess that's involved.
Yeah.
But like when I was a kid, it was just like all like cracks, like bridges where it should be flat.
Yeah.
But like over time, they build some of the best features. They still are adding on almost every month at least. They get donations through GoFundMe's, I'm pretty sure.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's definitely a cool scene out there. I'll go event like I also
it's one of the most like famous skate.
Oh, for sure, one of the
locations.
biggest and like most famous DIY like skater built skate parks. For sure. On the East Coast, for sure. A lot of them are out on the West Coast.
Tell me about your early skate life. How did
Uh,
you start getting into it? Who were your early
So my uncle
influences?
was a sponsored vert skater, which is like the big ramps and stuff that I
Wow,
never
really?
understood, oddly enough. But that's what got me into it. He was like my younger uncle.
Yeah.
He was my dad's youngest brother of like four brothers. And he was sponsored for it. He had a little tattoo, and I thought he was cool. He got me in the Run DMC and Cypress Hill and like hip hop and
Wow.
stuff like that. Beastie Boys.
Who was he sponsored by?
So it was like Vision Streetwear, which is like still a like familiar brand. They got bought out by some like Japanese company, I think. And Toxic Meltdown, it was called back in the day, which was like the boards and wheels he got.
That's so sick.
But he was friends with Chuck Treese, who's like a local skate legend in Philly.
Yeah.
He played in Bad Brains a couple like tours back in the day. He was like the first African American skateboarder on a cover of Thrasher.
Wow.
So like that's how he got those sponsors, through like his homies and stuff like that.
So he was like your guide into the world.
Yeah,
of
he was
a
like the
lot of
cool
stuff.
uncle. Not that my uncles weren't cool, but I had another uncle who was his little older brother who was like, that was the surfer uncle, my uncle Chris, who's
I
like
have an
the
uncle, Chris.
biggest beach bum I could ever think of. Like he does cedar siding on all the houses down the shore,
Wow.
and he only wears like board shorts and sunglasses. Like no
I
shoes.
love guys like that.
It's crazy. But he has gout now, so like I'm sure
He has
that all-
gout.
Yeah, so much shellfish living on the bay. Like he just puts a crab track out in the morning, picks
Walking
it up
around
at
with
night.
no shoes on and shit.
No shoes. Like yeah,
It's a sure
on his
path
surfer
to gout.
shit. Yeah.
So how has it awesome. Shout out to Uncle Chris.
Yeah.
Of all
Hopefully he's doing
types.
good. He keeps to himself out there in Mallard Island, they call it. It's like a marsh right off the like just before Long Beach Island.
Word.
So like just on the other side of the causeway.
That's great.
Yeah, it's pretty
God
dope.
bless. I love a shoeless life.
Yeah. It's almost like he lives off the land. For the most part.
That's
like,
so sick.
Wintertime, everything comes to a crazy halt. And like, yeah, he hates shoebies. Shoebies are like
Don't we all?
tourists
Yeah.
down there.
Folks who start
But
pouring
that's why he
in
moved
in
off
May.
the island. So yeah. He doesn't
Avoid
go
the
to
shoebies.
Yeah, get away from them. Yeah.
Well, sounds like you've had a really good relationship with your family, and that leads me into fatherhood. Fatherhood is an extremely important thing to you.
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
And
Tell me about what it was like to become a young dad.
well, as weird as it, I don't know, however, I always preface this with we had him on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I was young. I was 23 when I had him. His mom was, I would say, like 19, 20. But we were friends before we were partners ever. Like we were friends in high school. Go to the same like music shows, stuff like that. Same like friend group. And then we got a little older, out of high school, like linked back up, and like had more of a, I guess, grown up relationship or whatever. And we started dating, whatever. And my brother had a son, and it just was like, yo, that looks fun. Like I want to be a dad. And not that my dad was like old. He had a real gnarly like baseball injury in high school. And then right out of high school, my parents had my brother. Then 3 years later, they had me. And then 3 years later, they had my sister. So they were young parents,
Yeah.
which is dope.
So it's kind of a tradition.
Yeah, he was always like, it sounds crazy because like I don't like I would never want to be what my dad was, as far as like always my coach for baseball, but he was on point. Like he was a good coach. If I can curse, right?
Yeah.
If I fucked up, I was benched. Not because I wasn't playing, because I was the coach's son. Like I wasn't his son when he was my coach, which was awesome. And
So he didn't give you any kind of special treatment?
No, not at all. But when I was real young, he was a high school baseball coach, because it's what he loves. Like his baseball is like my skateboarding with me and my son, and baseball was like our thing, me and my dad.
Is he a
and then I was
Phillies
like-
fan?
Yeah, love the Phillies.
I see the...
They swept the Padres yesterday in their doubleheader.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. But yeah, I love baseball. I kind of like, more recently, I started following baseball more because I realized my wife doesn't mind watching baseball with me, which is so
Yeah.
sick. I never even wanted to bother her with that.
That's so great.
But I'm also like starting to realize like some of my dad's coming out when I be yelling at the TV when they miss a fly ball or something stupid. So that's funny. And like I was saying earlier, I see things like my mom in me.
How old are you?
I'll be 37, 38.
You don't know how old you are?
I was born in 84. And I don't really pay attention to my age. Like,
That's good.
sometimes people think me and my son are brothers, or like
Mm.
I'm the younger uncle, like, which is dope.
Oh, that's my boy.
Yeah, that's my son.
That's my son.
I refer to him as my offspring.
Yes.
A lot of my friends
like that.
think that's like weird, and I'm just like, bro, I've been saying that since he was like a little jit. Like, that's my offspring.
I'm also allowed to call my son
Yeah.
whatever I'd like.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
not the band.
Yeah, my mom was 19 when she had me, and she actually used to take me around South Street
Yeah,
quite a lot.
Yeah,
and they
I
would
mean-
think we were sisters.
I feel like he's so mature because he's literally just done everything with me for the most part.
Right.
Minus when he was a baby, I'd get out and like do my little skate missions and paint on freight trains with my friends in the middle of the night. But he's what got me to like get into skateboarding more, because like I guess I should be home at night when she's trying to get him to sleep as a baby instead of just riding on freight trains. So it's like I took a break from the graffiti thing for a long time,
Yeah.
and just started skating a lot more to keep active, because I'm just like, I always have crazy energy. I like doing active things, like it's enjoyable for me. And then he picked up on skateboarding because I would always just have him with me, and I guess like he learned early on just to like be cool, and then the old heads won't have any problems with you hanging out with ever. I never had to say that to him, and I never felt like I had to either. He's always just been part of the squad.
The homie.
Yeah, and that's kind of why, I mean, the only plan I ever had that worked out was having him early on and him being my homie.
Mm.
And like it's still going now, which is dope because he's about to be 16. And it seems like he'd rather hang out with me more than kids his age.
Mm.
But like
That's so
kids his
important.
age,
And that's all you, man.
well,
like that's all
it's
you.
also like he's straight edge. Like he says this. Like I don't know if he knows exactly what straight edge is to the fullest extent, but he doesn't have any interest in smoking weed, doing drugs of any sort, smoking cigarettes,
That's beautiful.
drinking. And like the kids that are his age, they're great kids, but they're doing that and they're experimenting with those things, and he's just like, nah, I'm good. Like I had an alcohol problem when he was younger, so like he's been exposed to like adult things, not in like a crazy way. Like I wasn't a full-blown, I definitely caught it early.
Well, you haven't sheltered him.
Yeah, I just don't want you to think like I was driving around drunk with my son.
I don't think you're
I know.
driving around drunk.
Well,
with
they
your son.
don't know
We'll get
me
into
like
the
you know
alcohol.
me.
Anthony was not driving around drunk with his
No.
son, guys.
Never that. We were just skating while I was drunk.
Well, yeah, I think that kids who want to rebel in that way, at least I know for me, like,
Yeah, I have friends that completely didn't do the things that their parents did. Now, like I said, I came from a great upbringing. Like my parents drank casually. I've never seen my dad drunk.
Yeah.
But with that being said, my last name, my dad's side of the family, a lot of the males didn't do so well with handling their drinking.
Is it German?
Welsh, Scottish, German,
Okay.
loose. My mom's parents are straight from, or her grandparents are straight. They came from Ireland to Philly.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Do you know what county?
outside the city, like in the burbs somewhere.
Of Ireland?
Oh, I have no idea where in Ireland. I only know the Philly, like where they came and
Yeah.
settled, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
And I got to know them. Like they were my great grandparents for like when I was young. They passed away, obviously, but it's pretty cool to like learn those things after. It's like, oh, they weren't just here. They literally took a boat
Came from
and came from Ireland.
my fucking
Yeah,
straight from the motherland.
yeah.
That's my motherland as well. Mostly Irish. I don't know what county my family is from.
I don't even know. I know of Dublin, maybe. I don't fucking know. Maybe
County
because my
Cork.
homie just had a layover there the other day and couldn't come to his haircut appointment.
Well, let's move into alcohol, because I know, I've known you for a lot of years, and I've been in recovery for most of the time that we've known each other. So
Hell yeah.
that's definitely something that I know about you. When did you realize that you had a bit of an issue?
Well, like I mentioned, I knew, like, not to put anyone on blast, they weren't like freaking, they always had their shit together or whatever, you know what I mean? But it was obvious that there was drinking problems. And I knew my grandfather, my dad's dad, my whole, like, childhood, he didn't drink because of, like, prior things.
Sure.
I always remember him drinking vintage seltzer. And it's like, that's one of my go-tos now.
Wow.
Not because of him, just, like, crazy full circle kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah.
And then that was a help, but, like, also that was a later help. Like, I didn't always think about that.
Yeah.
I only thought about that towards when I decided. There was, like, these 2 times my homie was working this pop-up beer garden at the skate park, and then I was working with my friend, doing, like, power washing of, like, the kitchen hoods in the restaurants.
Cool.
And stuff like that. So it was, like, all early work. Got paid the day of. I'd always end up taking that money as soon as I got done on my bike to the liquor store, buy however much beer I can get, go to the skate park. And this was all during the week, and that was normally when Evers was in Jersey at his mom's going to school. So
It just became like a cycle.
Yeah, and that week they had the pop-up beer garden at the skate park by the art museum. I just kept getting fed IPAs, like, on top of everything I drank that whole day prior. And on my way to meet with she's my partner at the time, she's my wife now. I was, like, a half hour late meeting her at her job to ride bikes back home with her. Just because it was late. It was, like, always 11 o'clock she got done, so I'd always ride home with her.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is what I've been told, I just kept mashing, just riding my bike as fast as possible ahead of her. And out of nowhere, I just eat shit. And, like,
I love a story that begins with apparently.
Well, I'm going by what I was told.
Right.
Eat shit, like, bike's fucked. And I just get up without her. Still hasn't caught up to me. I get up right away and ride my, I don't know at the time, my front wheel's fucking tacoed. But I rode that shit home. Middle of the night.
How?
I don't know.
It's that magic. You got some angels.
So yeah,
out.
I go to bed, whatever. It's like probably like midnight, 12:30, getting around there, I'm assuming. And I get up at 4 a.m. to go to work because I work these early power washing gigs before all these restaurants are open, so it's all nice and ready for them when they have their employees come in. No problem. Go to give her a kiss as I'm leaving, like, she's in bed still. She's like, "Oh, how are you getting to work?" I was like, "I'm gonna ride my bike. No big deal." She's like, "How? You don't remember?" Like, but then I get the story.
Yeah.
I rode that shit to the homie's house where the work truck was still. Deep South Philly.
Just with your wheel, just
Wheels
like...
wubble. I had to take the brakes off so it was able to go. So yeah, I work that day. And I go to my friend at the bike shop. He ends up fixing that wheel. That night, I ate shit on my bike was the last night I drank.
Wow.
So yeah, like, I went...
So you
basically, my wife telling me what happened and my whole bike ride with the fucked up bike to the homie's house.
just felt dark.
Then I get the truck. Then I'm going to the job in the truck. I'm just thinking, like, I'm done. Like, I'm fucking done. And, like, whoever I was working with, this dude, Eddie, he was cool. Older guy. He's like, "You know how many times I've had this conversation with people?" I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't need to be doing this shit. Like, I got a little kid." Like, he was probably like 6 at the time, if my math's right. 6, 7. It's like, it's going on 7 years I've been done with that.
That's awesome.
I
So you were able to just drop
bought a
it.
big ass gallon of water that day for the rest of the work day. Just drank that, which I always did. I always drank water.
Yeah.
Because I was always out doing shit while drinking. I never was just, like, at the bar. I was just buying really cheap
Sounds
cans
like
of
it just
beer.
kind of snuck up on you as like a lifestyle that was happening.
Absolutely. But, like, granted, now the skateboard videos are way more just dedicated to skateboarding. and healthy lifestyles, which is really awesome for the younger kids coming up with that. But before, I was like force fed, like in between skate clips in these skate videos, dudes getting shit faced drunk,
Sure.
smoking weed.
Do you think Jackass had an effect on that?
I'm talking like the video I'm referencing that I don't even need the name. If anyone knows, they know. They know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
There's Baker. All the Baker videos. Mostly like Baker 3 was like a heavy video. And it was like they're just drinking in like the B-roll. You know what I mean?
So this is
Partying.
like post Jackass. Probably
Yeah,
like
this
2007.
Jackass kind of happened. This was like just before all that, like early 2000s.
Word.
Yeah. Or like around the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, I was even saying this earlier. Bam was one of my favorite skaters growing up. My childhood dog was named Bam. Like, so like, yeah, you see him now. Then he wasn't like that.
Sure.
Even Jackass, he was sober for a long time during Jackass, and then things happen, and yeah. But yeah, I don't want to blame that on skateboarding per se. It was just like,
it was just like
unfortunately,
a
the
different
things I was into
culture.
and people I looked up to, I guess, in like, I guess the celebrity, like famous people world. Not even like skateboarders they weren't making money like they do now.
Right.
It's like, yeah, that's cool. I could do this. Like, but I was a kid.
So,
And where I grew up, not my parents, but all my friends' parents, like, kind of like turned a blind eye to us doing that shit when we were younger. As long as we were doing it in the basement or out on the porch, instead of like being running amok in the town or whatever, which like I guess is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, because it probably gave you like there was a safety to it.
Yeah, like towards like our senior year, I never did this just because like my dad parented with fear, not him knowing that, which is great. Like he never did that like on purpose. He was just, I never wanted to piss my dad off because I saw my older brother do it, and I'm like, all right, don't do that. So a lot of my friends, like lunchtime high school, would go to our homie's house where the porch was, where their parents didn't give a shit what we did. Well, maybe they did. I don't want to say that. But they...
Anthony did not drive drinking with his son in the car, and his parents gave a shit.
Yeah.
Thank you for the record.
But the crazy thing was, like, the homie's mom was one of the like teachers at the high school, and she knew. Like, oh, you went to the porch earlier today, didn't you?
The porch.
Yeah, we were the porch kids.
Capital T, capital
Dude, like,
P.
There was, I think 8 or 9 seats around the table. So, like, people would hit us up on AIM, like, yo, can you come to the porch? It's like, nah, it's full, man. We can only have 8 people. And then, like, the homies got some girls coming, whatever.
Right.
You can't come.
So they're going to fill the...
Unless you bring party supplies kind of thing.
Right.
It was like it was not a party. It was just like kids smoking cigarettes, drinking beers, and like Papa Vodka. Like the plastic bottle, like.
Ew.
Yeah. High school.
Did you like...
High school in the burbs. That's what it was. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, you just had to make your own fun on the porch.
Yeah, like whatever else we did, it was just like while driving in a car. Like, what? Like,
you
why
don't want to do that.
Sketchy. Let's just go smoke the blunts or whatever we smoked back then at the porch.
at the porch, baby. So it sounds like you kind of just like put down alcohol.
I did, and I was
got sick of it. Did you go to any meetings or anything?
Nah.
Nice, good for you.
Luckily for me, it was like beer. Like I was just a fan of beer.
Yeah.
Carbonated cans of beer. I didn't even like bottle. Like I would turn down bottles of beer. Like if someone's like, "Here, you want this Yingling in a bottle?" It's like, no. I have a Yingling can tattooed on my knee right here.
Wow.
Still to this day. I always think about like covering it. It's like, no. I like remember
part of your
it of
story.
A time I got past or whatever. But yeah. Now I love seltzer water. I figured like,
I'm a wholesome man. I love my vintage
carbonated drink.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was a lot easier for me to get over rather than like a hard alcohol habit or whatever.
Starts to get dark.
Yeah, well, I've heard some shitty stories from like my friends who have gone through that. Like, they had to go through, like, withdrawal. They had to take medication to deal with that kind of
it
stuff.
gets real.
Fuck, I didn't know it was that serious.
Like a
Because it's someone I've known.
actual
Like,
addiction.
it's people I know, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I knew you were a drinker, but, like, damn.
I didn't know you were getting the DTs and all that.
Like,
I'm going to pee real quick.
okay.
Do you have to pee too?
No.
Okay. Chris, just
I didn't realize, like,
put a picture of a toilet or something,
you can,
please.
yeah, do something cool. The Limp Bizkit toilet with Fred coming out.
Just realized I didn't clap for Chris. My editor just requested that I clap so he can sync the audio.
Fred Durst in the toilet.
We did it a little late.
Well, Lollapalooza, or was that Woodstock? That was Lollapalooza, right?
I don't fucking know.
Big Fred Durst fan.
Ooh, yeah. Big Fred Durst fan. I'm going to... I'm a big new metal fan, baby. All kinds.
Yeah, I'm into it. I like that shit too. Like, I was in a couple bands growing up.
Were you?
Yeah. Never played an instrument. I was just yelled.
Oh,
as a
you were
singer.
frontman.
They want to say singer. Yeah, frontman. That's dope. That's a good term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were a frontman.
Yeah, I miss that
Of
shit.
a new metal band? New metal band?
No, one was like, I'd say metal, but we liked black, like death metal back in the day. Like, we had my homies did
Doctrone.
the synth and shit,
Ooh.
but like we didn't look like that. I
That's
didn't
amazing.
corpse paint or anything, which I kinda wish I did. But it was like that style,
love
but
it.
with like Scenester Kids as the band.
That's hysterical. I always love like
We were just
A
kids
visual-
playing VFW shows. Like, it was so fun. Everyone loved it.
VFW
Like, no one was
shows.
mad at anyone for doing what we did. It was basically all my homies were in another band, like a emo, like kind of pop punk band.
yeah.
And we all like fucked with other music. And they knew I wanted to do something. They're like, fuck it. Every show we have, we'll just come out, do our thing with you, and then we'll go do the set. Like, we just opened up for their other band. So basically, it's one whole band minus their singer.
That's so sick.
And
I
I
didn't
would
know
be the
you were.
singer.
I didn't know you were in bands.
And then the other one after, like, that was way more matured, was like a hardcore band, which was
Yeah.
really fun for me. Like a posy hardcore stoner band called Scrimmage. And we used to say, like, scrimmage, like, oh, we're going to scrimmage. Like, that's when we were just linking up to smoke weed. Yeah. And then, like, all of our merch was, like, sports related. It was cool. It worked out.
I love that. I was gonna say, yeah, just to like wrap up the alcohol. You like you said, it's really cool to see. You know, I you know much more about this obviously, but like seeing the skate culture become more like healthy and
Yeah. And a lot of things that have happened recently with skateboarding, it makes sense why it's like that. It's an Olympic sport now.
yeah.
There's so many more skate shops in general around the world because of that. Like, especially in the suburbs, like, my friends have a skate shop called The Antics, and it's in, like, Haddon Heights. And there's been skate shops there in the past that haven't lasted because it's not in the city. Like, everyone always assumes they have to go to the city to go to the 20-year-old skate shop that's been around, or whatever the case, because they're going there to skate anyway.
Fairman's or something.
Yeah, Fairman's even. They've been around forever. So the first time I went there, I went to, like, go see my friend's little skate video premiere, And I was like, cool, use this as a time to see the shop, like see the homies, because the homies opened it. And I'm like, everything good? Like, y'all seem like you got good product, like everything's set up. And they're like, yeah, killing it. Like, all these people love skateboarding, because not to like put it in a bad sense, like I love the kids have the option to do skateboarding over soccer or baseball, but like the parents are condoning it because it's an Olympic sport now.
Yeah.
So,
and you have to be healthy to be able to like.
Yeah, I mean, you need to know how to eat shit. Like, you need to know how to fall. So I don't care who it is, even trying skateboarding, it takes a lot of like bravery, guts, like, and
because you are going
a
to
parent
fall,
down
and
to
you're
realize
going to
like your
get
kid's
hurt.
gonna get hurt.
Right.
So just like obviously my parents never cared. That was a normal thing because my uncle skated. They rode around on a skateboard.
They knew what was
that
up.
was like with metal wheels with a 2x4 or whatever.
So a homemade skateboard.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they did back in the day. More so,
all 4 wheels are different sizes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But now the kids don't have to worry about that because you can go to Target and get like a board to see if your kid's really gonna like enjoy this hobby, or they may take it more serious and turn it into like a sport. I don't consider it a sport. It's something that I do like that I genuinely enjoy and have fun doing, and it keeps me kind of in shape.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, I feel like I have a metabolism from my childhood still, from just doing what I did. I wrestled my whole life.
Cool.
Always played sports. Skated my whole life. Yeah, like scholastic wrestling.
Yeah, not like, you weren't like deathmatch wrestling when you were 10 years old?
No. I mean, I probably was like thinking that way in middle school wrestling because I was like wrestling from first grade. And then I got to middle school. Yeah, no, I was going to compliment you on that eventually.
I'm wearing an ECW hat.
Yeah, but I also have to shout out someone from the area that would appreciate that as well.
Schlack?
No. Just wait.
All right.
So when I was in middle school, everyone starts wrestling for the first time in 6th grade. So they're like, oh, this is cool. I can like beat up kids. It's like, and then they get into a match with me. I've been wrestling for 5 years already. It's like a little friggin' rugrat. Just like throwing people around. And then like, I hurt kids, but like in a legal way of wrestling. They just didn't know what they were getting into.
You were scrappy.
Yeah. So like, yeah, in my mind, I thought I was probably like in some deathmatch situation, but like that's also kept me out of trouble as a kid.
Yeah.
Like if I, lost my temper, it's like, all right, cool. I'm just going to, whatever I'm going to do in practice, I'm not going to be concerned about what that weirdo, like, kid that's 4 years older than me is, like, picking on me because he's, like, giant. And he knows, like, I wrestle and he thinks it's cool that he can, like, whatever. But yeah, it kept me out of, like, trouble.
Tombstone pile drive you.
Yeah. Luckily, I'm able to just teach that to my son without him having to do all that weird shit. And, yeah.
So you're gonna shout out somebody from the area?
Oh, so yeah, the ECW hat, the homies at Suplex Wrestling. I don't know if you're familiar with that store. It's literally a store.
I think you made a rug.
I made their
for
logo
them in the
into
style
a
of
rug.
the ECW.
Yeah, so it's Suplex Vintage Wrestling. So SVW, little like
look them up.
Rip of the logo. If you're a wrestling fan, I'm not. I definitely appreciate it.
Damn.
I think it's cool. That store is amazing.
Where's it at? On South?
It's pretty much right next to Philly AIDS Thrift.
Oh, cool. I'll have to
not
stop
having
by
any
there,
kind of
I'm
knowledge.
Obsessed with that shit.
The collection they have is insane. Like they have I can't imagine how they have as many belts as they have. I didn't know there was that many championship belts. Like the toys they have, like
they can churn them shits out.
People are always like, how is that? Like, how is that? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, the amount of people that go there to buy just a t-shirt and a hat of their just, like, store logoing is all they're really concerned about because it's like a museum. People hang out there for hours on end. By a couple years now. Yeah. Maybe not even. But they also own a trading card store.
Cool.
A shoe consignment store where all, like, the big names know of. Like, if they're in Philly doing a concert or whatever... What's the dude name? The comedian guy's name. He's always got his shirt off. He's a big drinker.
Bert Kreischer.
He's always there.
Really?
Whenever he's in town, he's going to Suplex to get some gnarly shoes from these dudes. So in the shoe world, they're known. The trading card world, they're known. They have all these like storefronts that, you know, communally they're able
Get
to
yourself right.
do
From
that.
your feet to your...
But also, like, they're able to do a fun thing like the wrestling store because they have other ways to pay rent with their other stores. It's like super
Right.
smart. Like they're...
Yeah, I was going to say, how does a dedicated wrestling store stay
And that's what my
in
theory was.
business?
I'm like, I'm not going to ask. Like, they would do your thing. And then
Much love.
I hang out there
love
when I
it.
brought them the rug, and, like, I really see it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
And, like, every time they have any wrestling pay-per-view or whatever, they set up the whole store's got all those wrestling folding seats, like literal,
Oh, fuck.
like
I gotta
the place is
get
sick.
hip to this place.
Yeah, and yeah, they like barbecue and stuff. They have ways of like bringing the people out, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? And there's
Wow, this sounds like a community center that I must, because I like just super recently got into wrestling, and now I can't get
and
enough
it's
of it.
all types. It's not just one like. It's not just WWF. It's not the ECW. It's like
All
there's
the-
Japanese. Like they span
all Japan
all
Pro
the
Wrestling. perhaps.
wrestling stuff. Yeah, they have dudes that are come in for signing, like to hang out. Like they do their thing, man.
I would poop my pants.
So yeah, I was trying to get to a point to mention that hat and them because they're dope. They support what I do
Yeah.
a ton. They bought one of my first rugs.
Shout out Suplex Wrestling.
Suplex Vintage. Suplex Trading
Nocturnal.
Cards. Hold on, I'm doing all the Suplex ones first. And the Suplex, I guess they...
Suplex?
Suplex shoes. Yo, I came up with a
I feel
new
like
name for
they
them.
missed an opportunity. They're not
No
calling
shit.
themselves Shoeplex.
But yeah, I also feel like their like 10-year anniversary just came up, or whatever anniversary, so congratulations.
Congratulations on that.
Chris and Mike at Suplex. And also, shout out Nocturnal
Yeah, we want to
for keeping all the skater
Philadelphia
dudes and dudettes and people
crispy.
riding. Yeah. And like also supporting like local artists. They still do those art shows. They're just not as robust, I guess you could say. Yeah, there's like 2 artists now that show, which is dope that they still have that opportunity to like do all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good looks. I'm gonna get involved with that wrestling store because I need to geek out with
Yeah,
some folks.
Awesome
that are
dudes.
into that
And they
shit.
love just hanging out and talking and stuff like that.
You think you've ever seen a ghost?
I don't think I've ever seen a ghost, and you prefaced me with this question, and I was like, sick. Because me and my wife, well, it was more her that was
Shout
convinced.
out to Tia.
Yeah, Tia. She's convinced our house is haunted.
Okay.
It's an old Trinity house, and
What kind of encounters
I've
has she
recently
had?
have been convinced of it.
So you're just going on her experiences, or
No, but I mean, she's bringing me on to her experiences. So, like, all right,
wait?
I'll explain.
Yeah, please do.
I have 2 examples. There's been others, but I don't really remember them because they're the ones I like brushed aside and was like, "You're crazy," like.
Just
know,
a
you're
hysterical
just-
woman.
Yeah, you're just bored, like making up. Like you love these shows. Like I know what you're doing here.
It's just mental illness.
No, don't say that.
No.
She's the best.
She's great.
She's the reason why I'm able to do what I do. Hella big supporter of the rug thing and
Yes.
being a dad. She's the dopest stepmom.
That's so great. No, I was just goofing.
Yeah, I know.
But
But all right.
paranormal encounters can
Yeah,
be...
so I guess like as summer was like happening, like as the seasons were changing,
Yes.
she likes to wear her flannels like in the morning commute to work. Like she rides her bike to work, whatever.
Yeah.
So okay, like gradually they like start to like build up on this chair by our plants in the kitchen.
Okay.
And she's like, "Oh, where'd my flannel go? I wanted to wear this specific flannel today," and she couldn't find it. But I guess a couple of days go by. It's in the cabinet under the kitchen sink, and like the only things we keep in there are trash bags, cleaning bottles of supplies, whatever, and the
Various
extra paper
liquids and
towels.
powders and such.
Yeah, it was in there. Like my son didn't do it. He
Sure.
just stays in his room. Like he has no reason to lie to me. He's a good kid in the sense that, like, he can always tell the truth. He's never been grounded.
He's not a prankster.
No, he thinks I'm a dork when I try to be funny. Like, he's too cool for his own fucking good. Like, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because I know he has no reason to, like, hide anything from me or, like, whatever.
Right.
Like, I'm an open book. Like, nothing you ask, tell me is going to be surprising to me.
So he's got no investment in this
in, like,
flannel.
No, because
moving.
He's like how I used to be. He's like, y'all are both crazy. Like, this place isn't haunted. Like, he's fine. He's whatever.
He's just grooving.
So that was that first incident. And then she's been having this whole situation happen with her face lotion, like CeraVe, like some kind of face lotion.
It's a good one. I use it.
Yeah, apparently it's expensive, or maybe not. It's just what she uses on her face, and she uses it every day. It was full one day, then it was empty. A couple of days go by, it was full again.
What?
So she started taking pictures of it before she leaves for work, and, like, before she goes to bed, and it's always fucking moved. And I'm like, all right, Ever's mom used to sleepwalk. Do you think Evers is sleepwalking? And Evers just starts dying laughing, like, I'm telling you, y'all are crazy. I'm not touching this lotion. And I believe him. He has his own little medicated lotions that his mom's got him for his teen acne, whatever.
Right.
There's no reason to be touching that shit.
Well,
They're
who knows? You don't have control over yourself when you're sleepwalking. You don't know what you're doing. You might be throwing flannels into the cleaning cabinet.
Also, here's the other thing. We don't have a door in our bedroom. We have, like, a little, like, spiral stairway, because, like, the Trinity house is, like, real narrow but tall.
Yeah.
And when we were, like, trying to rent from this lady, she's just, like, adamant on, like, there's not really a handrail, like, a railing going up to the stairs. They're kind of sketchy. They could be slippery, blah, blah. Like, almost to the point where she didn't want to rent us the place. So with that being said,
you guys look like neck breakers.
I can hear everything.
Yeah.
Like, I get woken up when he just gets up to go to the bathroom. So, like, I would hear that. You know what I mean? I'm not a heavy sleeper. I don't think I really sleep at all, honestly.
Sounds like ghost dealer activity to me.
So, yeah. And I guess the ghosts are real quiet. Because I'm saying, like, I can hear shit. I know. Like, I caught
They just, like, suck her lotion into
Tia caught a raccoon on the one deck.
That bull's definitely not drinking anybody's lotion.
No, that's not getting in the house. But, like, I'm saying, like, we hear shit. And that, like, she heard something, and she's like, all right, I'm going to see what's going on. It was a raccoon.
Just put a little camera in.
That'd be a good idea. I don't know if I would want to.
Just watch the like thing float out of the bottle, and
it's on some Ghostbusters shit. I'm telling you.
Well, I feel like.
But yeah, other than that, no real ghost encounters. I used to try to.
Other than her lotion disappearing and reappearing,
well,
and disappearing
crazy too,
again.
It's like kind of recent. We're all within the past year that I've been convinced. We've lived there for like going on 3 years now.
Yeah. And
I remember really early on her being like, I think this place is haunted.
Well, no shade to the divine masculines, but women are a little more in touch with that kind of shit.
I'm fine with that assessment.
Yeah,
I'd agree with you. I'm like, that's why I was like, early on, I'm just like, like, I just blew it off because, like, I don't want to deal with being haunted, honestly. It's like, nah, we good. Nah.
Positive mental attitude.
Yeah.
This shit away.
So,
what about aliens? What do you think about aliens? You think that there's...
I don't really think about aliens. Honestly.
I got enough stuff to worry about on
the only
planet.
We watched Men in Black the other day.
What, you don't
Edgar's
you don't get
alien.
stoned and just, like, think about aliens that could be out there?
I wish I got stoned like that.
It's just...
Yeah, I mean, it's like my ADD medicine at this point.
Right.
Do
you have a medical card?
No.
No?
I refuse.
Yeah.
I don't even have regular health insurance.
I don't have any health insurance.
I don't have any kind of insurance at all. Yeah.
Nothing is insured.
Nah, not yet. That's why I don't have a motorcycle. God forbid.
Yeah, don't do that.
I risk my life every day riding my bicycle, so that's enough.
Yeah, bro. I've lost a friend to a motorcycle accident.
We all have.
Yeah.
My dad don't even ride motorcycles because he got T-boned. Granted, he was all right. His bike got totaled. But he had a concussion. And then from those concussions, it's like, he's just over it. Like, he likes
that's one too many concussions, thank you.
I think it's been fine as of lately, but like early, like for a year, I guess after it, he wasn't really able to like do certain things that he used to do. As minimal as like have a glass of whiskey on the rocks before bed. You just get crazy headaches. But like everyone gets him whiskey for his birthday, Father's Day, Christmas. So I know he's been sipping on the whiskey again.
Right.
But like literally like before bed. Like I said, my dad's never had some weird ass any kind of like habit, I guess you could say. He's just like a great fucking person. So
That's so great.
yeah, back to that whole
You're
parenting
a
with
good
fear.
family boy.
Again, he didn't do that on purpose. He's just a really good dad and just cared for everyone and didn't want people to think low of his kids, maybe. He's just a good dad, bro.
Just a good old dad.
Same with my mom. I have awesome parents.
And they're in South Jersey?
Yeah.
Still?
Voorhees. It's like the town next to Cherry Hill.
Okay. Used to
It's kind of like-
frequent their mall,
Yeah, Echelon
In the
Mall.
childhood
Was it
years.
still Echelon Mall?
the Cherry Hill Mall.
Oh, Cherry Hill Mall. Okay, yeah. Well, there's one in Voorhees called Echelon Mall.
Ah.
Yeah, it was smaller. I worked at the Sam Goody there.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You said something very important earlier, and we just kind of skipped over it like it was nothing.
Yeah, I'm really good at that.
It's not sitting right with me.
Well, that's why you're here.
You're a big Limp Bizkit fan,
Oh shit! Yeah.
and this is very important to me. I have tattooed Jonathan Davis's dubstep name
I didn't even know he had a dubstep.
on myself. Yes, Jonathan Davis has a dubstep side project
Is it good?
called J Devil.
I'm not really in the. All right. I don't know.
Look-
I'm not gonna say I'm not in the dubstep.
Look, I'm into if Jonathan Davis recorded himself taking a crap on the
Yeah.
toilet, I would be like,
That's not surprising. Yeah.
I'm obsessive
He
like
has that
that.
kind of fandom.
Yeah. Korn is important. New metal is important to me. You should be Fred Durst for Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, so my one friend was like a graffiti friend of mine. He was like making memes of all of us in his like close friend's story. So like it would be like a celebrity that one of the homies looked like, and then his graffiti name below it.
Yeah, you very much have the vibe.
Mine was Fred Durst.
Yeah.
Because I like the Phillies,
you've-
so I always
you've flipped your fitted
yeah.
backwards.
See, that was like
in a very
that
Fred
was my-
Durstian move.
If I had my regular Phillies hat on, the red,
The red
it would
one.
look way more.
like a white T-shirt and some
pink.
khakis.
I don't do white T-shirts because I'm
Now I know y'all be loving
a
this.
slob. And I hate like the Young Bull stains. Oh, this shirt Evers made me during COVID. On his
That's
Young-
cool as hell. Isn't
his
that
Young
like a
Bull
band?
shirt.
Isn't that a band? Or
It says
just
fork. So like
it does indeed. It
he-
says
he-
fork.
he dabbled with that being his like graffiti name.
Why?
It was his replacement word for the word fuck.
Cool.
Never said he couldn't curse. He just, as a kid, never cursed.
What a wholesome young lad.
Yeah, it was very easy parenting. He was an easy kid. Yeah.
Good for you.
I feel like he parented me more.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
What a wholesome young lad. Good job,
What does it say on the
Evers.
back? Read the back. We need it.
It says, "Don't feed the lizard. He might bite your hand."
So descriptive. And it's like, this is one of
That's
one of my
so
favorite
cute.
shirts, like the 90s green with like the denim. It's like,
I just thought it was like a
I'm pretty sure it's a
grindcore band or
Komodo
something.
dragon. Yeah, he's got like that cool metal font.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very
He
good.
killed it. Yeah, he was selling clothes like during like lockdown and shit. Yeah. It's like clip art and t-shirts. Like, people loved it. It was sick. I was jealous.
Does a dad's heart good.
Yeah, he did it all on his own.
How does it feel? I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. So how does it feel to see your son, like, kind of carrying the torch on all these things that you love so much?
I mean, I feel like I had this conversation with someone the other day. Very short conversation. Most of my conversations are short, but he's everything that he's kind of taking or like got into because of me or my friends or whatever. He surpassed me, and I'm totally fine with that.
That's how it should
Because
be,
he's
right?
so young. Like, a lot of the things he's getting into, I didn't get into until I was, like, in my, like, you know, like, 19, 20, 23. Like, pretty much an adult, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, the
Around when
practice
he
he
was
has doing these certain things, whether it be his artwork, his graffiti, his skateboarding, like, whatever it may be. He's making, like, these little video edits with a camera my sister had when she was in high school. Like, my parents brought me a bunch of my old cameras, and a couple of them were my sister's. So he's using, like, a handy cam, like, very basic, and making these cool little edits to, like, songs that go with them really well with, like, just on his own. Like, he just does these things, and I'm very proud that he, like, always commits to it, does a really good job, and is very just like, oh, I made this video edit, puts it on his story, and that's it. Like, he doesn't, like, hard post shit. I feel like a lot of kids nowadays, like, are too cool to, like, post what's going on. And I feel like that's
He's
why.
just creating so much that it's not
Yeah,
even a
just
big
doing his
deal. He's
thing,
like,
which is
just-
great, because I don't want him to be stuck in, like, the fucking algorithm shit. Like,
It's so toxic.
Yeah.
All that. I try to stay off social media as much as
and it's
possible.
like, usually when I see him and he's on social media, like, do you know what Flickr is?
It's like a
It's like a photo sharing
image,
app.
yeah.
Very big in the graffiti scene. That's like the only thing he be on anymore, because he just wants to look at old Philly graffiti. Like, he does his history, he does his research, he, like, respects the architects of anything that he gets into, whether it be skateboarding, art, graffiti. He likes jazz music. Like,
Damn.
yeah, he's like educating himself to the extent like an adult would when they realize, like, oh, I like these things, I want to read up on it. Like, when I was a kid, I just wanted to be outside, like, which is cool, but basically what I'm getting at, like, he's utilizing the technology, I guess, and, like, the things that he has to his advantage, rather than, like, fucking his head up just, like, scrolling constantly.
Woo!
You know what I mean?
We love to see it.
Yeah.
The young bulls.
And I'm like, I catch myself, like, a day like today, I would just be scrolling on my phone because, like, the rain, I'm not good with the rain, whether it be from past surgeries. Majority of the things I like to do, you can't do in the rain.
Well, God bless you for walking all the way here from South Philly.
Oh, that was fun. I had an umbrella. That was fun. I don't mind being out.
Don't mind pruning your toes up a little bit for the sake of art.
I'm pretty sure there's socks at the tattoo shop that I can grab when I get there that they have as, like, merchandise.
Yeah.
Oddly enough,
Just gonna cop
tattoo
a pair of
shop sells
socks.
fucking socks with their name on them. They're nice socks.
So, Anthony, we're coming to the pinnacle here. For all the young folks out there, perhaps the young peps, the young dads,
Peps.
the
young
young
pops.
peppers getting started with their offspring, perhaps a young skater.
I have some young skater friends that have been. I have a few. I probably have a handful of, like, younger friends that are parents now. Some
What
are
would you
younger than
say-
others.
Anything that you would say to maybe someone who's a little scared, his lady's got a bun in the oven and he's about to go through the big change?
I mean, I just was I don't want to have, like, a cliche thing, so I don't know. I
Say something super unique, please.
let your kids do whatever they want. Like, definitely introduce
It's
them.
always gonna go well.
Yeah, I mean, that might sound no, it is very loose, all right? But, like, to break it down, definitely introduce them to productive things. Like, Evers always had the opportunity to, like, play baseball, do soccer, whatever. If he wanted to play an organized sport, he had that. But I also let him know, you can come with me and hang out with my friends and skateboard and come to the city and experience other types of people, whether it be, you know, at skate spots, you run into normal people, and then, like, people that are kind of, like, weird to normal people, and it's like, those people are kind of interesting. Like,
You can learn a lot from
there's
the
no reason
weirdos
why
at
you
those
should
skate
be
park.
stuck somewhere. And, like, a lot of, like, he doesn't have many friends out in the burbs, like, in Jersey, because there ain't really anything to do. So the majority of his friends play sports, which is dope. His brother loves baseball. He has 2 little brothers with his mom and stepdad. But yeah, like, he wants to be in the city. Like, he's with me. He's been with me since school was done. We don't have, like, any kind of, like, custody. We let him make his decisions, you know what I mean? Sometimes he
That's awesome.
needs to be forced to go back to Jersey because, like, again, he has 2 little brothers. They look up to him. His mom wants to hang out with him. They have a family. They do, like, family things, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, let your kids do, obviously, productive things, like support them in their artwork, or I don't know. I just always had support. I feel like support goes a long way. Like, my mom was at every wrestling match, every baseball game, as long as she didn't have work or whatever. Like, and they had 3 kids, and we all played sports competitively. So how can 2 parents be at 3 different places? They did it. And we were all different
Mad
ages,
love.
you know what I mean?
Right.
So granted, I'm very fortunate. I don't have to be at a field of sports for a whole weekend long, because Evers decided he wants to do the more, like, rogue like, activities, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Whether it be skateboarding or riding on freight trains or going to abandoned buildings and exploring, like, old history, and also painting and, like, seeing old graffiti in these old buildings. Just incriminated myself, but there's people living in them.
We can overdub your voice saying, "I like to go to church."
No,
on
we don't have to
Sunday."
overdub anything. I didn't specify what abandoned buildings I've been in.
Right.
No face, no case.
It could be an art center called Abandoned Building.
Yeah, it's a new.
For all anybody knows.
Yeah, it's a new. Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's way worse going on. I feel like as long as a kid has support from their parents, especially their dad, they'll be fine. And, like, yeah, you might have to parent them. And, like, I felt bad not that long ago. Like, my son's phone died. And that's the one thing he relies on to get home. And he was, like, kind of far. And all the bad things were going through my head.
Sure.
Did he get caught doing something he shouldn't have been that some people don't agree with? Whether it be writing his name on a wall in a shit-smelling alley. Like, people get butthurt about that, and it's not the person's wall who's getting butthurt. Or got hit on his bike. Like, I don't even want to speak on these things, but I was freaking out. And I lost it on him for probably the first time in his life. And I made him cry, and I felt so bad. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm glad you're crying, because that makes me know that you realize how serious this was, and you realize how worried I was.
How much you care.
And that's all it was. I wasn't mad at him. I
You
understand.
freaked
like,
out. You just got scared.
Yeah, because I FaceTimed him. He's like, yeah, I'm leaving now. An hour passes. Like, he should have been home in 20 minutes. Like, on bike, coming from, like, Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Then he just got turned around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it was lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
Like, remember Pine and Spruce. They go this way, and you live in between.
Yes.
I don't need people to know where I live. But you live between this and this number block. So,
Right.
go up and down Spruce till you see this number block, and
Yeah. Well,
you know
as long
this
as he
street
knows
runs
that
that way.
Daddy-O cares, and I can't see you as like a tyrant or someone who
No, I was
pops
just
off.
I was worried, and like
Care. It's your boy.
he he wasn't mad at me for being upset. My wife was like, no, like, that's a good, like, that's how anyone should have reacted in that situation. Like, you were scared. I was genuinely worried. Like, bro, you're the only reason I live. Like, I live for you. Like, I know it sounds, like, crazy. Like, I love Tia. I love Smokey, my dog. I love Gons. My dogs are awesome. We didn't even mention my dogs.
Oh, my God. We'll have to have you back on.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean...
I feel like we have a lot
and
to
I think,
talk
like, a
about.
lot of the things I was saying to him, like, made him realize, like, oh, Dad's not being funny right now. Dad's not being a jokester. Like, he's being the dad. And it's like, fuck. Like, kind of realized he fucked up. But, like, not on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
But that's part of letting your kids experience, like, basically, we were hanging out. His homie came to link up with us. I'm like, yeah, you guys do your thing. Like, go ride your bikes around. I have to go get my hair cut. So, like, I got my hair cut. I went home, and I chilled for the rest of the day. Dinner's about to be done. I hit him up. I'm like, yo, start heading home. And then, like I said, an hour goes by. I'm just like, what the fuck?
No. I can only imagine that I'd be like...
And we eat dinner kind of late.
Very
We usually eat around
scared.
8. And it's starting to get dark. And it's like, what the fuck?
Get over here, my precious
Yeah.
offspring. Where are you? You're the most important thing in the world.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, your homie that came to link with you came all the way from the suburbs to Philly, and he knew how to get back to 30th Street. Like,
Right.
come on, bro. Like,
You live here
pay
most
attention
of
to
the
where
time.
you're going. You know what I mean? But I guess partly that could be me not over analyzing and telling him where the fuck we're at all the time.
Evers, don't Evers get lost again.
Yeah, never's that.
So any closing words, any last words, anything you want people to know, anything you want the folks of Philadelphia to know about you, or any last words?
I mean, I want, if you're interested in any kind of commission rugs, you can reach out on the Instagram, and it's literally Philly Custom Rugs, all one word. I guess you can follow me on my Evers Dad if you want to watch me and my son do normal father-son activities.
Tomfoolery
Yeah.
that we do.
I don't post any of the graffiti we do because that's not what the internet's for. If I do, it's on my close friends, and that's for my close friends that appreciate that.
I'm on there. I
Dope.
got that green circle.
Dope, yeah. I mean, you're a trustworthy
Yes.
soul.
You're in my green circle crew too.
Nice. I always get kind of flattered when I see that. I'm like, oh, that's sick.
Yeah. It's mad love. I'm like, ooh, I got a green circ
Yeah.
on this person.
And then I guess, yeah, I mean, I work part-time at a tattoo shop. I do not tattoo. You wouldn't want me tattooing. But they're all really, every artist there.
What's the shop called?
It's called Houndstooth Tattoo. It's at 1022 Buttonwood Street. It's literally like that Cuddy block behind Union Transfer.
Head to a show, grab some food from La Chinesca, and go
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they
get
give
something
you,
on your body forever.
it's next to Love City Brewery, and they're all
Okay.
homies and shit. So like after your tattoo, you're more than likely get a free like comp to drink for the people that still partake and are responsible. I just work the front desk for my friend whose shop it is. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it.
Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it again sometime.
I haven't talked this much in very long. It was dope.